Excuse me. For everyone's knowledge, this is a prayer hall. We like to keep it silent, please. This is a prayer hall. We like to keep it very silent, please. Thank you.
Namaste everyone. We shall begin today's prayers with chanting from the Hindu and other scriptures. The Satsang prayers sheets are available. Chant 8 times before we begin. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginah Kama प्रमादं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ॐ सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतः। ॐ ह्रीं नमः शिवाय। ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। ॐ जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मेतयोस्कृत्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। ॐ नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। ॐ नमः शिवाय शान्ताय कारणत्रयहेतवे निवेदयामि चात्मानं त्वं गति परमेश्वर। ॐ श्री सीतालक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न हनुमत्समेत श्रीरामचन्द्र पद ब्रह्मणे नमः। ॐ आपदा अपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। ॐ यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम्। ॐ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। ॐ मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is discord, unity. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is error, truth. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is sadness, joy. Where there is darkness, light. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Page 9. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh page 11, song number 18, 1-8. गाओ रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम, गाओ रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम, गाओ रे जय जय राम कृष्ण नाम, गाओ रे जय जय राम कृष्ण May I request everyone to silently pray for the welfare of all beings. May all beings be happy. May all be free from disease and afflictions. May there be less and less of conflicts in the world. May there be no misery. May we not cause misery to anyone. Silently offer your heartfelt prayers to the Divine for a few minutes.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Vedanta Center. On behalf of Swamiji and the Vedanta Center of Sydney, Brisbane chapter, I welcome all of you on a warm day with a warm welcome on a Sunday morning to be here. Thank you for spending your time with us, especially when it's precious on a spring day. Today we have a very special guest, and the theme of today's meeting, I think I should go back one step. We have this satsang once a month. All right? Every month we have this satsang, and we have a theme that follows each satsang. Today's theme will be following what is about to approach the whole country, which is the first 2 weeks of October. We are going to be spending our time concentrating on people who've got mental challenges. The Mental Health Week is being held officially on the first 2 weeks of October, and we at the Vedanta Center, we're preempting it a little bit, and we'll have more programs that respect and recognize the issues that the country and the world as a whole, that we are beginning to recognize as mental issues that we have for a long, long time ignored and forgotten. So first of all, congratulations to our speaker who has recently finished her PhD, and we want to wish her all the best for her future. And with the theme of the Mental Health Week, the topic for today is social stigma and mental health. Social stigma and mental health. It should hit hard for a lot of us. She is she is a psychologist and a managing director at Narada. Her specialty is NDIS, mental health supports and complex care. I would like all of you to put your hands together and welcome Dr. Narada Sharma to speak for a few minutes.
Namaskar, everyone. Good morning and Bula. Bula means hello in my native country, which is Fiji. Firstly, before I begin, I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we gather today, and also pay my respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging. Firstly, I would like to acknowledge my very special thank you to Swamiji for giving me this opportunity to not only express something that the society is experiencing, but a topic that is very close to my heart, because I have firsthand experienced mental illnesses and have never spoken about it because they have been embarrassed, judged, and labeled. Secondly, I would like to thank all of you. I have seen familiar faces that have come here and spent their Sunday morning with me to listen to something that is very special. And I would also like to thank all the volunteers that came today to help prepare the arrangements. Today's topic is social stigma and mental health. Social stigma is a negative belief that society has for mental illnesses and disorders. Unfortunately, traditionally, as Indians, we've always grown up to have all of the household responsibility on our shoulders. We have never been educated to express what we're struggling with internally, because to us, expressing our emotions and our struggles, we get labeled as weak, irresponsible, or immature, and that's wrong. Our daughters and sons today, and actually 40% of Australia's population has a mental disorder, and almost half never express it because they're afraid of their own families and friends. Why is that? Why is our society like that now? Sorry, this is a very emotional topic because I'll share a story. I know someone who spent their whole life suppressing their emotions and mental trauma and abuse because they wanted validation from a spouse, from siblings, from colleagues, and from friends. And now that person suffers so much that they have pretty much sacrificed all of their happiness. And I do not want our society to end up like this. I don't want today's generation to end up like that. I don't want myself to end up like that. And which is why I took up the honor of studying psychology, because I want to help people like yourselves. Indirectly and directly, all of us have suffered some kind of trauma in our lives. We have families at home that would be facing society's trauma one way or the other, whether it's at school, at work, or pretty much in their social groups. Surprisingly, 30% of India's population has a mental disorder, and they do not discuss it at home because they're afraid. Afraid of the tradition, afraid of speaking out, afraid of being labeled. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Narada Sharma, and I am extremely proud, not of my academic achievements, but because I get to help special needs people. That is one of the best things of my life. I have dedicated my life to specialize in areas that I can help people with special needs and complex needs, and which is why I work for the NDIS. For those of you that do not know what NDIS is, that is a disability insurance scheme under the Australian government that provides funds and supports so that people like myself, psychologists, occupational therapists, pretty much anywhere in the mental health care, we get to help people with special needs. The areas that I specialize in is epilepsy, schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, social phobia, as well as many other areas. My passion for mental health is very deep-rooted, like I said, because I know personally people, my friends, in fact, even in my family, there has been lots of mental trauma that no one has talked about. And I want to break that generational chain. I want to end that generational pain. I do not want the future children to carry that. That is why I decided to focus on mental health. Now, understanding social stigma. Social stigma is the negative attitude, belief, and opinion about mental health in society. The types of stigma. There are many stigmas out there, but we will be discussing three specifically. The first one is public stigma. This is the negative perception of society. It often leads to discrimination and exclusion of those with mental illnesses, which basically means if someone has a mental illness, they are seen very differently. And in fact, working very closely with them, they're not different, they're unique. The second type of stigma is self-stigma. This is the stigma that is within, that self-talk that we give ourselves when we look in the mirror. The way we see ourselves, self-worthiness, self-care, self-love. This is when stigma is internalized. That is when you start to isolate yourselves based on other people's opinions. What you see on social media, what you see basically on any mass media. You start to basically compare yourself to your peers, to what's seen on TV. The third type is institutional stigma. This is the policies and practices that are in place with organizations that may disadvantage individuals. For example, in the workplace, there would be policies and procedures that are not accommodating enough for mental illnesses, and this can lead to workplace problems, which is very unfair. Now, let's talk about some real-life stigmas so that we can all relate. One of a good example is a young student, a teenager. She is suffering with a mental illness, but she's afraid to speak about it because her friends may label her as weak, even crazy. That is one of the common names that people are often given. It's crazy. She struggles with anxiety every day. She's failing her subjects at school. She's isolating herself. And one day she decides to leave her home. She never returns. And her family and the police find her body. My friends, families, I do not want that happening to your children. I do not want that happening to the people that are here. No one deserves that ending. Another good example is a professional business person suffers a mental illness at the workplace. His family suffers, his business suffers, his finances suffer, only because he is afraid to talk about how he feels. Again, why is that happening? Why have we become so judgmental? The main reason why people are judgmental is because of their own insecurities deep within. Now, let's talk about some consequences of social stigma. Suicide, that is a leading consequence. When people start to absorb negativity, other people's opinion internally, there is no worse battle than the battle you have within yourself. Because day by day you're ending yourself in misery. And that leads to you thinking that there is no help or resources out there. That is why organizations like myself, we are here. We are here not because we are promoting therapy or we are promoting, anything that you're worried about. We are promoting help. We are trying to promote a safe place. If you feel your home is not safe, that's okay. You can come to people like myself. We are here to serve the community like yourselves. The worst, one of the worst consequences of stigma is worsening conditions. Now, there is social isolation. That is one of the major symptoms of social stigma. People isolate themselves. They stop talking to family. They stop talking to friends. They stop attending events. They stop going to prayer places. They stop eating. They stop working. All they do is sit at home with a closed door. They even leave social media. That is the biggest killer in today's generation. Other people's opinion and what people think of you. So I urge you, stop worrying about the validation of other people. Worry about your children. If your child is not talking to you and you feel they're not expressing themselves, please reach out. Reach out to me. I will give you my number, but please don't leave your child astray. Not only your children, your wives, your husbands. That is another reason, another major problem is men have learned to suppress their emotions because they're always been the most responsible person in the household. They've been the breadwinner, the head of family. Socially and traditionally, they've always meant to be the strongest. But they have feelings as well. They have struggles which they need to talk about. Now, some of the signs, this is a very important topic that I would like for you to please focus on. Some of the signs that you'll see in people that are suffering from social stigma. They avoid discussions. If you feel there is a person that was very much talkative or social before, has now decreased that, that is one of the signs of social stigma. Secondly is isolation. You will stop seeing them in public places. That is the second sign. The third sign is low self-esteem. They don't look as well as before. They don't speak as well as before. That is low self-esteem. Another major one is fear of seeking help, because there hasn't been enough education and awareness about mental health and what we do. We're not here to just give medications or lock you up in facilities. Of course not. I am against that. That is not the real help that we need. I am here to listen. That's it. Because the real power, the real therapy is within you. My job is to help you find that therapy and empowerment. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life or tell your loved ones how to live their life. Of course not. I am here to just be a friend, a sister, even a mother figure. I'm not a mother, but I can do that. Now, the other symptom is discomfort with labels. For example, if you jokingly say to someone, "You look depressed," or "It looks like you are in a bad mood today," if they react in a negative way or they feel very defensive, that is another sign of social stigma. Increased anxiety and stress. Now, stress is not only someone that looks sad or has stopped eating. Sometimes people have anxiety and stress and you can never tell. The person sitting next to you right now could be suffering with anxiety. I could be suffering from anxiety even though I work in this sector. Now, another sign is negative coping mechanisms. Alcohol, overeating, over socializing, extra socializing, or behaving in self-destruction behaviors, which is body harm, for example. Physical symptoms would be, of course, headache, fatigue, just physical unwell feeling, basically. Defensiveness, this is basically linked to what I said before, discomfort with labels. So defending themselves when you talk about mental health, or if you joke about mental health, if you feel someone has become very defensive of the jokes that they were comfortable with before, that is one of the signs of social stigma as well. They become very secretive, hiding their phones, hiding social media, hiding emails, things like that, or something that they were very open to share before, now they are hiding things. That is one of the signs of social stigma. And basically changes in any sort of behavior. If you've known someone for a long time and they basically start to behave differently, it's often very good for them to seek a resource or start to do a bit more research and awareness about mental health. One of my goals is to start workshops across Brisbane, not where I'm just basically talking about mental health, but where anonymously people can come in, their information, their identity will be anonymous, and they can talk about what are they struggling with, so I can help them link to services that would help them. Now, that workshop will be very, very confidential. It would not be shared with any friends or family. So there is a safe place for you to turn to, or anyone that, for the matter. Now, how do we deal with social stigma? This is a very important part for the younger generations, as well as the older generation. Now, honestly, at this stage, I don't feel that we do need to focus on the younger generation, but our older generations, they have social stigma as well. And unfortunately, it has been from their own families. They have not had an open space to talk about their feelings, their struggles. Why? Because they're seen as weak. Why are we being labeled weak for sharing our own struggles? To me, the real strength is for you to stand up and say, I can't do this anymore. I'm struggling and I need help. That is the real strength. Now, how do we deal with social stigma? The most important is education and awareness. So many people do not understand the signs of social stigma. Education, education, education. That is the most important thing. Creating awareness. And in our society, basically the most important is actually accepting the fact that traditionally we have had mental illnesses, and it's okay. It's nothing bad, it's nothing wrong. If your child is suffering, it's okay. They're not different from any other child. There's nothing wrong if your child has special needs. They just need extra resources. They need an extra safe place where they can share their struggles and talk about what they're going through. Second solution is advocacy and support. That's like organizations like myself. We advocate for people that are suffering from mental illnesses. We go around telling people why it's important to talk about your feelings and if you're struggling. Don't hurt yourself internally. Talk to us. Advocacy is important. And not only myself, you are all advocates. If you're a mother, a father, a sister, husband, wife, you are an advocate for your own child, your own siblings, your own partner. So stand up and fight for someone that you love. Don't let them harm themselves internally. Don't let them isolate themselves. The third, and this is very critical, but unfortunately it's not happening as much, is media representation. Media needs to change their outlook on mental health. Media needs to stop representing trends where teenagers feel they need to be a certain way to be accepted in society. No, you're acceptable, you're beautiful the way you are. The way you look doesn't matter, what you've studied doesn't matter. If you're a good person, you have a good heart, that's all that matters. And I want each one of you to always remember this, whether I'm saying it or anyone else. You all matter. You are important. Please don't ever feel that you're alone. No matter how educated, how successful you are sitting here, you are all important. And please, if you are facing family trauma, speak up. Don't hide it because your children are watching you. The younger generation are watching you, how you deal with your own problems. And that is the only way they will learn. They learn from you. If you hide your pain, they will hide their pain. If you can't fight your battles, they won't be able to fight their battles either. Support groups is another major way of dealing with social stigma, creating social groups. But then again, we are so afraid to be judged. How can we talk about ourselves in a social group if you don't know the next person is judging you, whether they're not saying it? So that's why I want to create the anonymous social group where you come in. I don't know you, you don't know me, I don't know your friends and family, but you talk to me and everything stays confidential. Whatever you tell me, I will find resources to help you. If you have someone that has complex care needs, has special needs, please reach out. We are one of the providers that focus on NDIS providers. We focus on love. We focus on love, respect, and dignity. And that's what my team, the employees that I have, they have the same values instilled in them. We respect dignity, we respect you, we respect what you need, and we respect what is important to you. So my friends, I really am thankful that you have been here listening to me about something that's been very, very special. This topic is very close to my heart. And across Brisbane, I have been meeting people, socializing with everyone, attending events, and I can see social stigma amongst so many people. So many of you have shared with me what you're going through, and I appreciate that so much. I appreciate that you have trusted me with your struggles, and I would like to see more people basically become social supporters like myself. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Swamiji, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And I hope that we can have one-on-one discussions. The forum is open. If you have any questions, does anyone have any questions?
If anybody has any
Please.
questions, please.
Feel free.
Please take the microphone and ask the question.
If you want to ask me later, one-on-one, that's okay as well. Any questions? I knew it.
Yeah, hi. I just want to ask the effect of not being heard with isolation and social stigma. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Your name, please? What is your name?
Peter.
Peter. Thank you, Peter. So the effects, yes. So basically, I've mentioned on my talk, one of the most terrible effects of being unheard is, of course, isolation. Isolation, self-harm, self-destruction, the feeling of unworthiness, where you feel there is no resource, there is no help, you cannot turn to anyone. That is the major impact of being unheard. Everyone's opinion matters. Everyone's needs matters. What that ends up with is basically isolation. Isolation is the main, from my experience and the people that I've worked with, isolation is the worst that I've seen. Because mental illness is not about someone acting very aggressively in public or acting out of the ordinary. It's not only about that. Mental illness can be someone sitting very quietly, talking very normally, like myself right now. I can be suffering from the worst mental illness and you would have no idea. That is the major impact of being unheard, because that means I'm isolating myself within. I'm keeping my emotions inside because I feel you all are judgmental. I would feel you all are not listening to me. My family's not listening to me. So that is the major impact of not being unheard. Peter, I hope that answers your question, but please feel free to have a conversation after. Oh, you've got one more question? Uh-oh.
Yeah, just whether those people should feel a responsibility to actually spend more time to hear. So the job of the community to actually press in harder to hear.
Sorry,
family.
I didn't understand.
For that person to actually take on that responsibility to actually hear those people, it's imperative, I think.
You mean the community?
Community, family, governments.
Absolutely,
and
yes.
everything.
Yes.
Across the board.
Absolutely, you're right. And that's one of the reasons why I said that the solutions has to be awareness, mass media presentation, how the government, how media is presenting information about mental health. That is very crucial. And yes, people, the biggest important part is acceptance. You need to accept the fact that mental illness does exist. You cannot run from it. It's only going to make it worse. Your kids will be suffering every day. The older generation will be gone. The kids are left to suffer. Why can't we stop that? Stop the generational pain. Stop the trauma. End it now. Teach them now so they can learn and pass on the information as we go.
And do you think the busyness of life is an effect of not having time to listen to your kids, to friends?
Actually, to be honest, everyone's busy, right? It's part of life. We have to survive, we have to work, parents have to go to work, kids need to go to school. What it is prioritization. They need to prioritize the fact that the kid is struggling, and acceptance. Some people, they don't accept the fact that their kid is struggling. They feel, oh, they're just being naughty, they're just being mischievous. No, it's a child. They're showing you signs that they're struggling. Listen to them. Listen to them now when they're little, not when it's too late and they're a teenager. So yes, all of your questions were amazing. I would like to have a chat with you after this. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. And there's one more.
Lalit here. Lalit is my name. I got a question. Sorry, I joined late.
It's okay.
What's the root cause for people feeling worthless or not worthy? What's the root cause there? Why
Thank
do
you
they
so
feel?
much. What's your name, sorry, sir?
Lalit.
Lalit. Thank you, Lalit. That is a very great question. And the root cause, to be honest, for feeling unworthiness is you're feeling the need of comparing yourself to people. If I feel that I need to compare myself to my sister or my friend, that's when I start to feel, I start to lose sight of my own capabilities and strength. So you need to focus on yourself. The energy that you're channeling onto other people, channel it to yourself. Ask yourself the question, if she's successful, what areas am I successful in? What am I good at? What makes me happy? Channel your energy to yourself. Stop comparing yourself to your peers. And another thing, stop comparing. This is for the kids. I mean, if you're a child, stop comparing yourself to your parents. That's a major one. Their struggles, their achievements are different. You are your own person. And I feel parents need to focus on that as well. Because kids start to feel unworthy if they're not able to live up to expectations, if they're not able to live up to your definition of successful, people start to feel unworthy. So the overall advice to you, or anyone that needs advice, is to stop looking for the definition of self-worth on social media or through mass media. Now, traditionally, we already know what worthiness is. Spirituality, that is the main factor of worthiness. Seeking God, higher power, that's the strength. Number 2, finding what makes you happy. Never ever let go of things that make you happy. That is worthiness. 3rd is education. Not education, university degrees. No. If you do it, great. If you don't, it's fine. Education about life. What is important in life? Education about your child's behavior. It all starts at home. Worthiness starts at home. Thank you, everyone.
Just one last question.
Hi. I'm Jaya. This question is specific to mothers though.
Yes.
Can you just teach mothers some strategies for mothers to prioritize their mental health, especially during the challenging stages of parenting, example postpartum, toddlerhood, adolescence, and how family members can help them? Things like managing mom guilt, coping with postpartum, balancing, and what are the recognition of signs of burnout, and building a support network.
Of course, thank you. What's your name again? Sorry, ma'am.
Jaya.
Jaya, nice to meet you. Jaya, one of the, like I said, worthiness starts at home, so that is a very great question about parenthood. Now, personally, I'm not a parent, but I can answer based of being a daughter. So, some of the signs where your child might be facing issues, I've mentioned quite a bit, but isolation and changes in behavior. For example, something that they used to, if you're talking about a child, signs would be they're not playing as much, their favorite toys, they're not liking their favorite toys, they're not reacting to their favorite sounds, people's voices, music, things like that. Or physical, visual attraction as well. Certain pictures, certain colors, certain TV shows. If they're not reacting positively anymore, that is a sign that your child is suffering. Now, in terms of the parents, burnout, basically, this is a tough one. Tough one because this will hit a lot of people, but burnout would be the challenges you have in your own marriages. That is a major one I've seen in women in our cultural society. Marital problems. That is a major burnout of social stigma affecting parenthood as well. So you'll clash, and especially, and also clash with your families and in-laws. That is a major burnout sign too. And thirdly would be you won't be socializing with your friends, families, sisters, brothers, anyone anymore. 3 major signs. It's very small, it seems small, but those are the leading signs. Now, you asked me how to deal with burnout, was it? Sorry, you asked me like a long question. Yes. Yes. I would suggest, because that is a very personal question, I would suggest that you and I have a conversation, but anyone else that has a similar question, it would be to turn to a social group like the anonymous group that I would be starting soon. So I will be posting information about it, and Swamiji could also shed some light on it in future. But yes, how to deal with that? It would be social group support is the most important one, resources. So come to organizations like myself, talk about what's affecting you, because it's such a broad topic that you brought up. There's not really one solution. I would need to know more personal information for me to actually answer that question. There's not really a one-size-fits-all kind of solution. So I would need to know family background, a bit more information about you to actually answer that question. So it's the answers have to be very specific in such situations, because your background affects a lot of what's happening right now. So if you and I can have a conversation after this, if you like, that would be great. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Actually, yes, that's a good, okay, that makes more sense. Now, I've seen that happening a lot. Personally, my advice, and this is not clinical advice, this is more of just personal advice, it would be to have the courage to step up to someone, whether it's your husband, your mother-in-law, father-in-law, mother, whoever, step up to that person and communicate what is affecting you. Once you make a list of what's affecting you in the household, that's when you can start minimizing that risk of each factor that's affecting you. If you're, for example, for mothers, it could be day-to-day activities like picking up the child, cooking for them. Little activities can be very overwhelming sometimes. Talk to your husband, balance the responsibility. I know it's hard traditionally, it hasn't been happening, but that's the only, honestly, the most practical solution that we have. There's no clinical explanation about that. It's just pretty much courage. Courage to speak out about what's affecting you. So you would have to speak to your husband or speak to another mother. Actually, you can speak to my auntie. She's a mom. She would be the best person. Yes, but... Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. And, you know, for example, if someone is judgmental, sorry, I'm taking too long, aren't I? Last one, promise. The reason I've noticed, the reason why people are judgmental is because they have, it's a very huge insecurity within them. That is a major cause of being judgmental. For example, the best example I can give is myself. I can't speak for others. Myself, for example, if I feel that someone has not dressed a particular way, it's because I have dressing insecurity within me. That's why I'm basing opinion about the next person. So that's, like I'm saying, empowerment, and the real solution is within you. Your insecurities. Having insecurities, it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying you're a bad person. Everyone has insecurities. If you visit a family, for example, this is a good one, this is common. Indian women, for example, if they'd visit their friend's house, they take a look at the house, judging how the furniture is, the sari is, the jewelry. Why? Because they're wondering, oh, I don't have that kind of sari at my house. My husband didn't give me that necklace. Insecurity. Stop worrying about what she's wearing. Worry about yourself and your child. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma. Sounds like you created a safe space here. So yes, we are grateful for that. But keeping in line with the theme of mental health, many of you may not realize that a few years ago, the Vedanta Center started an offshoot program with a group of small, younger people trying to deal with issues that the younger people have. It was initially directed at the universities, and I think it's grown a little bit more and encompass a lot more youths involved. Now, to speak to us about this offshoot program known as the Power of Us, we have Sikandar. Can we have a round of applause for Sikandar, please?
Thank you, Niji. Swamiji Pranam, and good afternoon to all the Vedanta Center family and friends. Now, Uniji, when I spoke last to him, gave me a standing instruction to keep it sharp and brief, and I truly admire him, so I'll just keep it sharp and brief, as expected. First of all, Dr. Narada, thanks for a refreshingly insightful talk on social stigma and mental health. And as you said a lot of things, but few things, that appeal to me about a safe space that your organization offers, you offer. And for a lot of us, I believe, present here, this center is a safe space. We come here, we connect for different reasons, but we feel comfortable, whether we come here, sit in the shrine, whether we come here, have a yarn with Swamiji, or any of the fellow family members here. And as a member of Vedanta family and Power of Us, I'm proud to share that Power of Us Suicide Prevention Network, which is a community network inspired and supported by Vedanta Center, as Uniji was sharing. We are committed to promoting mental health and suicide prevention. And especially our focus is the transcultural communities in Greater Brisbane area, but we are open to connect with anyone. As you were saying, mental health, anyone can be having it. I could be having it right now. It makes no distinction. Power of Us is not a counseling or crisis support service, and I'm really happy that you were here today, because your organization provides that counseling support. Power of Us do not do that. But what we do is we connect with, we collaborate with services as yours, others. We closely liaison with Wesley Mission, Wesley Life Force program run by them. And I'm again proud to share that Wesley Mission established the first lifeline in Australia, which is in today's time one of the most well-known counseling crisis support for most of us. So we connect, we cooperate with services offering that counseling, crisis support, and bring in awareness, because any one of us could be experiencing a condition that may be characterized as a mental health issue, illness. So we bring that awareness in the community. And in doing so, we organize mental health events with other organizations. In saying that Vedanta Center, which is our inspiration, definitely we connect with Vedanta Center. But even other organizations in the community, it could be Standby, or it could be another suicide prevention network. It could be Federation of Indian Communities. I see Dr. Preeti sitting right there. And again, very happy to share that she participated in our last suicide prevention training that was delivered by Wesley Life Force. Now, you already spoke about it, but again, I like to focus here that suicide prevention is a shared responsibility across community, family and friends, government agencies, non-government agencies. So we all need to come together, and that's why we have this network started. And many amongst you are maybe not present here. I'll take the liberty of naming a few whom I can recall at this point. Vignesh, Sanduni, Menka, Roshni, Ananya, Krishna, Madhavan, our beloved Shamdashi, have been associated with this movement for the last few years. And many of you may be connecting with some other movement like this. So what I'm requesting here is that we rely on your support. So please connect with us, whatever is convenient for you. You want to connect in person, you want to connect online, you just want to be a part of that sharing network and share information about Dr. Narada Sharma, what she's offering, any other service that you are personally connected with or admire. And just FYI, I'm coming to the end, Uniji. We hold regular monthly meetings, and we will be also hosting our annual general meeting. That will be Monday, 30th of September, very soon. And if any one of you interested, you're warmly invited for that. You can connect online. We'll share a Zoom link. And just after this, there's a flyer we have got, a small flyer. For today, I'll leave it with Shamdashi. I just have a personal commitment after this. I have to drop my parents to airport, so I may not be staying for Prasad. But connect with me. We have information, email on this flyer. Connect with Shamdashi. Connect with Swamiji, anyone you feel comfortable with. And whatever way you connect, it will be, as you were saying, a confidential, a culturally responsive connection. So I'll stop here. Uniji, I hope I have not disappointed you. I really admire you, Uniji. But thanks a lot. And once again, thank you, Swamiji. Pranam.
Thank you, Sikandar. I didn't know I was such a person with such a strong whip. Before we end the day, just a few quick announcements. The first one will be there'll be prasad being served after this. It's in the hall down below. We're going to ask all of you to go out through the back door, pick up your footwear, and take a walk down the car park to the hall below. Again, prasad. But please take your footwear, keep your footwear on, and we'll go to the hall below. A few other announcements. On the 29th of September, which is next Sunday, right? We are going to have a sitar recital here at the Vedanta Center. The person playing the sitar will be Srimad Jyoti Thakur from Pune, India, right? And she'll be having some accompaniments in terms of other instrumentals as well. Now, after the sitar session, there will again be a free prasad, which will be provided by the Namdhari Sikh Association, and they do it here on the last Sunday of every month. So being the 29th of September, the last Sunday, we can enjoy a great lunch with them as well. So Swamiji will get ready for Aarti now. Those of you who can join in, please join in. And then after Aarti, please go to the back, get your footwear and come down. Thank you very much.
Thank you. There are two more announcements which I would like to make. One is which Uni had already mentioned to us during the Queensland Mental Health Week on the 5th of October. We have a wonderful program here. We will have some yoga and relaxation techniques being taught, laughter yoga, etc. And also we have a 1.5 hour workshop session. It will be a very useful workshop on mental health. So we request yourself and your friends to register online and attend this very important program. And on the 11th of this month, October, we have our annual Durga Puja, and on the 13th of October we have the Vijayadashmi program. All of these informations are available online and also on our Facebook Vedanta Spring. So thank you everyone for coming here today. We will conclude with the Arati song and the performance of Arati. Thank you.
Namo Prabhuvakyamana Namo Prabhuvakyamana Vidamano Vachane Kada Prabhumano Vachane Kada Jodira Jodira Jwarati Kanda Jodira Jai Jai Arati Toma, Hara Hara Arati Toma, Shiva Shiva Arati Toma, Kandana Baba Vandana, Jagavandana, Vandito Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji Ki.
I would like to thank Dr. Nivedita Datta and the Datta family for hosting today's program. Thank you very much.